Hello, welcome to practice, everyone. So nice to see you all here. Welcome. Apologies for the brief delay, just getting my sound equipment set up. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful Wednesday afternoon. Happy hump day, as they say. This is Wednesday, June the 10th, 2020. The time is 3 p.m. And we go roughly until 3:55 p.m. So I hope that you guys are having a nice day. Shazia, welcome. This is a yoga wellness class, so please feel free to join us today if you'd like. So throughout today's practice, we will be doing some nice little flow here. And quick little start, if you'd like. You could utilize, if you have any essential oil, you may want to use an essential oil today. It's just an idea. And if you use an essential oil, you can use it, place it on a tissue, and then that way it doesn't diffuse all over the room. That's kind of the technique that I've adopted towards utilizing the essential oils. So without further ado, let us begin. We're going to find our way onto our mats, and we're going to begin our practice together. So welcome, guys. I missed you guys yesterday. Hopefully everything worked out for you guys. And happy to have you guys back. So yes, this is our wellness class, and our wellness class is a class that is designed for wellness. So we do activities, or we do rather stretching, if you will, to engage wellness throughout the body and the mind here. So a great way to start is just to start in standing pose. So standing pose is called Tadasana, and we start in this pose in order for us to develop a sense of awareness of our feet and our body. So I've been studying a little bit of yoga postures lately, and one of the primary principles of yoga practice, at least when it comes to Western yoga practice, is learning about your foundation. So learning about the foundation has to do with feeling into your feet. And many of us, we don't have too much contact with our feet. We may be on our feet all day, but we don't have any awareness of really what our feet are feeling. So what you can do is just begin to shift the weight forwards and backwards from the heels to the toes. And this is really a great way to just notice the sensations on the bottoms of the feet. And eventually what happens is we start to find our way into our alignment. So our alignment is through our feet. We begin to feel our legs lining up. The calves actually start to move towards the shins. The thighs actually start to move towards the hamstrings. The buttocks grows towards the heels. And then we feel this lift in the chest, and that's very important here. This lift in the chest is really what allows for us to maintain that sense of prana. Prana is our ability to be active in the world. So prana may be our ability to be productive in whatever we're doing, whether that be yoga or finance or some other aspects of our lives, but just our sense of ourselves. That's so important here in our practice. So as you feel ready, inhale, float the arms up towards the ceiling, raise the arms up above the head. And as you exhale here, hinge at the hips and release the hands all the way down towards the ground. Good. You'll take the hands to the shins, inhale, lengthening up halfway. Nice. And as you exhale, hinge on down again. Very good. Inhale, float the arms up towards the ceiling, raising through the fingers here. And as you exhale, taking those arms back down to the sides, palms face the front of the room. Again, inhale, float those arms up. So as we start to move, we actually begin to move with our breath. So as you exhale, you fold all the way down. And as you inhale, you bring your hands to the shins. Maybe you lift the chest up, maybe the heart up. As you exhale, hinge those hips on down again. Inhale, spinning those arms up towards the ceiling. Maybe the palms touch. And as you exhale, bringing those arms back down to the sides, the palms face the front of the room. Good. So from here, we'll raise the arms up towards the ceiling one more time. This time, interlace your fingers above the head and push the fingers up towards the ceiling here. Now begin to stretch the arms over out to the right side of the body. You'll notice the entire left side of the body is stretched here. And then you'll come back to center, and you'll see if you can stretch the other side of the body. So as you take the hands over to the left, you'll feel the entire right body stretching here. Now come back to center here, and as you exhale, release the hands all the way down towards the mat. Inhale, peeling up halfway, lifting through the chest, heart, and sternum. As you exhale, hinging at the hips again, releasing the head all the way down. Now taking the hands to the low back, interlacing the fingers here. Pressing through the feet as you take the arms all the way up towards the ceiling. So wrap those outer arms in and continue to feel the head releasing all the way down towards the floor. Place the hands on the low back again. Press down through the hands to lift the chest up and find your way up to standing. One more time, hands come to the center chest, interlace the fingers here. Press your palms forward in front of you, take your arms all the way up towards the ceiling. So we grow long from our foundation, and maybe that's our practice in today's class, is really to feel into our foundation. So as you feel ready, glide the arms over to the left side of the room. Maybe spin the chest up towards the ceiling here. Good. Inhaling back to center. As you exhale, glide your chest over to the opposite side of the room. Again, you're going to feel the arms opening up. You're going to feel the chest opening up. Back to center again. Release the hands all the way down towards the floor. Inhale, taking the arms to the shins. Lengthen through the chest, heart, and sternum here. And as you exhale, releasing the torso all the way down. Hands come to the low back again. Interlace the fingers here. Pull the fingers up towards the ceiling. Wrap those outer arms in and release the head on down. Good. Light bend in the knees here. Just release the head all the way down towards the feet. And continue to breathe here. Breathe into the back body. Breathe into the shoulders. Breathe into the neck. Now, take the chest up. Find your way up towards standing. Inhale. Interlace the fingers one more time. Raise the arms up above the head. So again here, as we raise the arms up above the head, let's begin to feel into the toes and begin to feel into the feet. So feeling that the arms are lengthening over to the right side and back to center again, and the arms are lengthening over to the left side and back to center again. Release the arms down out to the sides, palms face the front of the room. Good. Now as you feel ready here, we're going to find our way onto our mats. So we started with a little bit of standing, and now we're going to find our way onto our mat and take downward facing dog pose. I always like, downward facing dog is one of those poses that we can continue to come back to throughout our practice. So spin the palms out, press down through the fingers, take the forearms forward, let the biceps lift as the triceps wrap on down, and then lift the knees up as you find your way back into downward facing dog. So downward facing dog, interestingly enough, is the same as mountain pose. So the heels continue to lengthen towards the back of the mat, and the fingers continue to lengthen towards the front of the mat. It's not that we're walking our fingers forward or we're walking our feet back. We're just allowing our legs to lengthen forward. Allowing our legs to lengthen back as our arms lengthen forward. So our arms and our legs are moving in opposite directions here. And what that does is it stretches out the body. So you can feel that stretch in the back muscles. You can feel that stretch in the neck. And just breathe here. And as you exhale, you'll release the knees down to the mat. We're going to take a few rounds of cat and cow pose. So you spread through the fingers here. Inhale, begin to peel up the chest and the heart. As you exhale, rounding through the spine. Inhale, peeling the chest and the heart up. Exhale, rounding that tailbone down to the mat. One more time, inhaling through the chest, heart, and sternum. And as you exhale, rounding through the spine. So the tailbone draws down towards the backs of the knees. The belly hugs in, the head releases on down. Now tuck the toes underneath. Float the knees up. Press the thighs back. Once again, find your way into downward facing dog pose here. Turn the fingers out and release the head on down. So as you spread through the fingers, let the fingers lengthen towards the front of the room. Allow the upper arms to lift up here as the head releases on down. Bend those knees slightly and allow the heels to lengthen on back here. Good. And then from here, you're going to release the knees all the way down towards the earth, and then take the legs and extend your legs forward in front of you, just like this. Okay. So we're kind of doing a very interesting sequence today. We started standing, then downward facing dog. Now we're in some forward folds here. But this is a way that we can begin to progress into our awareness of our body. So start by bending your right knee into the chest. Take the right leg out to the right side. And as you feel ready, release the head on down here. So Janu Shirshasana. And obviously, we typically take this pose at the end of the practice. But in today's class, we're taking it at the beginning. And this is a really nice way to calm the body and the mind. So if you feel any sense of anxiety or stress here, you can begin to walk the hands forward and just breathe into the stretch of the body. Right knee releases down, right hip draws back, left hip draws back. Just breathe into the shoulders and the chest. You're just paying attention to the sensations in the body, that's all. Not doing anything here, just simply aware of our body. And you'll lift the chest on up. You'll take the right leg back to center. You'll glide the left leg back. So draw the left leg back. Bring the left foot in. And then release the head on down. As you release the head on down, just begin to lengthen over that right leg here. So as we lengthen over the right leg, continue to draw the right hip back. Feel the left foot pressing into the right thigh crease. Allow the head to release on down towards the mat. And breathe here. So continuing to breathe as you lengthen through the chest, through the heart, through the sternum. And eventually lift on up here. Okay, take the hands now. Place the hands right next to the sides of the buttocks. You're going to walk the feet in. Press down through the hands. Inhale, reverse tabletop pose. As you exhale, lower that tailbone all the way down. Good. So I'm going to have you do this again, except as you do this, what I want you to do is feel the belly drawing down towards the floor. So even though we're lifting up through the legs, pressing down through the arms, pressing down through the legs, feeling the pelvis lift up, the belly is drawing down towards the floor here. And as you exhale, lower on down. Good. So once again, as you press down through the feet, as you press down through the hands, inhale, draw the pelvis up. Let the belly hug in. Maybe look at the belly here. Exhale, lower on down. Take the feet together this time. So the feet come together, the knees come apart, and then you're just going to release the head down. This is called Virabhadrasana pose. Virabhadrasana pose is a pose we take as well to kind of open up the legs here. And we release the head down. Yesterday I talked about this pose in some detail. I said that you want to allow for the femur bones to draw back towards the hip sockets. You want to allow for the tibia and fibia, which are the bones of the legs, to draw in towards the heels. So as that happens, what happens is we begin to feel more length through the chest. The shoulder blades draw away from the ears, and we breathe into the body. Good. Then from here, you're going to kind of come on back and bring your hands back behind your knees. Just hold on to your knees here. I think we've done this before in this class. You're going to lift the right foot up. You're going to keep your hands on top of those shins. Just lift the right foot up. Exhale, lower the right leg down. You're going to do the same thing to the left leg. So inhale, lift the left leg up. Exhale, lower the left leg down. We're going to do that again. Inhale, lift the right leg up. So lift the chest up. The chest tends to round here. Can you keep the chest lifted? Exhale, lower that leg down. Inhale, lifting the left leg up. Good work, guys. So keep lifting that chest. Keep lifting the heart. Exhale, lower on down. So once again, we're going to take the knees, bring them back behind us. Find our way into tabletop pose. As you feel ready, exhale, pressing back. Downward facing dog pose again. So downward facing dog pose here, just see that the fingers are lengthening forward again. See that the heels are lengthening back. Feel the head releasing down towards the mat. Let the hips continue to lift towards the ceiling here. Thigh bones continue to draw back towards the hamstrings. And once again, we're just going to look in between the hands and walk the feet forward towards the hands. Inhale, lengthening here. Exhale, hinging and folding. Inhale, taking the hands to the hips, pressing through the feet, lift the chest up. Exhale, taking the hands to our sides and finding our way back into standing mountain pose. Hands come to the hips here. Step the feet a little bit wider apart, maybe 3 to 4 feet apart. And as you step the feet apart, see that the feet are parallel here. So feet are parallel, knees are facing one another, and your feet are pressing down onto the mat. 4 corners of the feet are pressing down. So as you take the hands, raise the arms up towards the ceiling here. Again, interlace the fingers. So we're doing this a lot today. As you interlace the fingers, see if you can feel your feet pressing down. So just like we started with in Tadasana, right foot presses down, left foot presses down. Now notice the calves moving towards the shins.
and notice the thighs moving towards the hamstrings. If this is done correctly, you will begin to feel entirely active in your legs. So the calves move forward, the thighs move back. It actually activates the whole leg. Keeping that action, you're going to take the chest and you're going to turn the chest over to the right side of the room. Keep those hands lifted. So walk the right toes out to the right. Right foot is parallel with the mat. Left foot is turned in here. Hands are still lifting up. As you exhale here, bend the elbows, bring the hands behind the back, and place the hands on the low back. You're going to begin to bend into that right knee. As you bend into the right knee, lift the right toes up off the mat and look forward. So that's a really important action. Lifting the toes off the mat actually engages the entire right leg here. Good. Straighten through that right leg. Turn the right foot in. See that the feet are parallel again. Hands stay on the hips this time. Turn the feet out to the left side of the room. As you turn the feet out to the left side of the room, right heel presses back, left knee bends here, and lift the left toes up. That's it. So keep pressing down through the buttocks here. Right heel is pressing down. Left foot is flexed. Left toes are lifting up off the mat. Good. Straighten through that leg. Turn the feet back to parallel and step the feet back together. Excellent. Open the palms up to open the chest. Good. Inhale, raise the arms up above the ceiling so palms face one another, maybe looking towards the ceiling. As you exhale, forward fold here. Release the hands down towards the floor. So as you take a forward fold, your feet can be together or they can be hips width distance apart. Your choice. And as you continue to feel into the feet, you want to see that the weight travels again from the calf all the way to the shin. There's a light bend in the knees here. Release the head down. Good. See that the thighs are drawing back. Take the right thumb, place it into the left elbow crease. Take the left thumb, place it into the right elbow crease. And begin to release the head on down. Feel your shoulders. Feel the weight of the arms pulling your shoulders all the way down towards the mat here. Very good. Take the hands to the hips. Press through the balls of the feet. Inhale, lifting the chest and finding your way on up. Excellent. From here, inhale, raise those arms up above the head. So we raise our arms up above our head to get some elongation through the body. So feel through the feet. Keep lengthening through those arms. Keep lengthening through the chest. Hands come back to the hips. Take a wider stance out with the feet. So we're back to our feet out at our sides, except our feet are wider apart this time. Feet are about 4 to 5 feet apart instead of 3 to 4. We turn the left heel in. Bend the right knee. Turn the right leg out. And see that the right foot, right heel, right knee, and right hip are all in a line. Then, keep the hands on the hips. We begin to lean forward over that right foot. You lean forward. Bring the right calf to the right shin. Bring the right thigh to the right hip. And then see if you can get even lower here. That's it. Now look up towards the ceiling. Keep pressing that left heel down and breathe. Inhale, floating the chest on up. Stay here. Stay here with the legs. You're going to begin to bend into that right knee. As you do so, the right calf is moving towards the right shin, okay? Now, in order for the knee to not bend 90 degrees, what I recommend doing is lifting those toes up off the mat. When you lift the toes up, there's something that happens in the shin of the leg where the leg does not, when you try to bend more, you can really feel it. So you don't want to bend more than 90 degrees in this pose. Take the arms out to the sides and reach your left arm back as you reach your right arm forward. See that the left outer foot is pressing down. See that the left thigh is drawing back here. Hands come back to the hips, straighten through that right leg, and turn the right foot in. So be here for a moment in wide stance pose. Notice the difference between the right leg and the left leg. So the right leg, we just did a lot of strengthening work in. The left leg, we just did a lot of elongation work in. So flexibility in this leg and strength in this leg. We're going to turn the feet to the opposite side and begin to see that the left foot, left shin, left thigh all lines up. The heel lines up with the foot. So now, as you press through the right heel, begin to glide the left side of your chest forward. So you still have your hands on your hips here. You're turning your chest to the ceiling, and you're allowing this left calf to move forward towards the left shin. You're allowing the left thigh to move back down towards the left hamstring. Let the chest begin to revolve towards the ceiling here. Good. And then as you feel ready, inhale, floating your chest on up. That's it. Now, stay here for a moment. Your feet should not have moved at all. So all you have to do is bend into that left knee. And as you bend into that left knee, I'd recommend lifting the left toes off the mat. It's your choice. But I'd recommend lifting the left toes off the mat. And the reason for that is because once you lift the toes, it sets the foot into an action called flexion. When flexion is created in the foot, it begins to activate the whole left shin. So it actually is a strengthening exercise for the shin as well as for the calf. As you bend that knee, feel the arms once again extending out to the sides. The right arm pulls us to the right. The left arm pulls us to the left. Chest is at center, and we're breathing here. Now straighten through that left leg. Turn the left foot in and place the hands on the hips. I always like to take a forward fold now, especially after some of these strengthening postures. So we take our hands down the legs. We glide our hands down the legs. We release the head all the way down towards the ground. Breathing in here, release the head on down, and let the hands come all the way down underneath the chest. So see that the weight is even in the heels and the toes. Lift the chest up, lift the heart up, walk the hands on back. Good. Release the head on down. So as you release the head on down, feel the calves moving towards the shins. Feel the thighs moving towards the hamstrings. Walk those hands on back. And then from here, the hands come to the hips. You'll press through the feet. Inhale, lifting the chest and coming back up to standing. Excellent. From standing, we're going to turn our feet all the way over the right one more time. So spin those feet over to the right. Look at your right foot. See that the right foot, right knee, right hip are all in a single line. Hands are on the hips. Bend into that right knee. Bend into that right knee. Bend into that right knee and create flexion in your right foot. So the left leg is turned in. The right foot is in flexion now. So the right toes are lifting up towards the ceiling. Now, take your right forearm, place your right forearm on top of your right thigh crease. You can lower the right toes down to the earth now, but let them be soft. Let them be soft here. And then keep bending into that right knee. Right knee still only bends to 90 degrees. Left arm extends up towards the ceiling here, raises up out of that arm. Glide the left hand back towards the back of the room. Glide the left hand down towards the floor. Glide the left arm up towards the side of the room. Glide the left arm at an angle towards the ceiling. So that left hand's at about 2 o'clock on a clock. If you were to have a clock, it would be at 2 o'clock, right? Because 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock are on either side of that hand. Again, lift that left hand up. Raise that arm up. Warrior 2. Straighten through that right leg. We stay on this side again. Hinge at that right hip. So draw the right buttocks back. Draw the left hip forward. Glide the right hand down to the right shin. As you place the right hand down on the right shin, left arm reaches up towards the ceiling. Press through the right ball of the foot. Spin the right outer arm up and in, and lift through that left arm here. So left hip draws down. Left side of chest raises up towards the ceiling here as you breathe. This is called triangle pose. Don't put a lot of weight in that right hand. See if you can lift up even more through the left arm. So you're just kind of using your right arm as more of a placeholder. Inhale, left arm lifts us up. Right arm extends out. Bend into that right knee. Flex the foot. Draw the left arm back. Keep bending into that knee. Draw the left arm back. Draw the right arm forward. Hands come to the hips. Straighten through that leg and turn your right foot in. Okay, we still have the other side, I know. So as you feel ready here, let's first start by setting up the legs. Left leg is parallel with the mat. Right foot is slightly turned in. Heel to arch alignment in the feet. Then you begin to bend into that left knee. Bring the left toes up. Foot is in flexion. So that means that the toes are lifting up towards the ceiling here. Spin the right hip in. Good. Keep bending into that left knee. Awesome. Take the left forearm. Place the left forearm on the left thigh crease. That's it. bend that left knee. See that the left hip draws in. Press that right heel down. Keep bending into that knee. Now glide the right arm up towards the ceiling here and breathe. Keep bending into that left knee. Glide the right hand back to the back of the room. Glide the right hand down towards the floor. So 6 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and then eventually bring it up to 2 o'clock. So the hand is just extending out through the shoulder. Keep turning your right pinky finger down to the floor. You can softly release the toes down to the floor, the left toes, and continue to feel this elongation through the side of the body. So even though this is a somewhat difficult pose, see where you can soften in the pose. Sometimes even in wellness class, we take some more challenging poses so that we could see where we can relax. Inhale, float the right arm up. Let the right arm lift us up. Warrior two pose again. Warrior two pose, straighten through the left leg. Hinge at that left hip. Draw the left hip back. Draw the right hip forward. Draw the left hip back. Draw the right hip forward. Release the hand down the leg. Inhale, float the right arm up towards the ceiling. So allow the left shin, or allow the left calf to move towards the left shin. Allow the left thigh to move towards the left hamstring. Float the right arm up and breathe here. See that that right heel is pressing down. See that that right hip is spinning down towards the floor. Keep lifting up through the right arm. So breathing here in triangle pose. Great pose for the psoas. It's a great pose for the hips. Inhale, float that right arm up. Bend deeply into that left knee. Look forward. Lift the left toes up off the mat. Good, and then straighten through that left leg. We're going to turn our feet into parallel and again take a forward fold here. So we're beginning to kind of cool down our sequence as we usually do. About 30 minutes of rigorous activity and then 25 of just more of a relaxing flow. So as you release the head on down, breathe into the hips. Breathe into the shoulders. Breathe into the face muscles. Continue to press through the four corners of the feet. Feel the shin bones lifting up. Feel the calves moving towards the shins. Feel the thighs moving towards the hamstrings. Maybe walk the feet, maybe walk the hands down a little bit more towards the heels. Now take the hands to the hips. Inhale, peel up the chest and heart and sternum here. Come back up to standing. We're going to spin both feet over to the right. Spin both feet over to the right. And lift the chest on up. Good. So now we're going to come into a forward fold again. If you have blocks, I'd recommend placing blocks on either side of your right leg. You could just place a block under your left shoulder, a block under your right shoulder, and then release the head on down. So as you lengthen here, this is called Parsvakonasana, pyramid pose. Allow the right thigh to draw back. Actually, you're still putting a light bend in that right knee. So the right calf is still moving towards the right shin here. And the right thigh is still moving towards the right hamstring here. Let the shoulder blades draw in towards the center chest as you lengthen through the heart to the crown of the head. Allow the trapezius muscles to move away from the ears. So shoulder blades move back, down the spine. That's it. If you want, you can lift up the toes of the foot so that you're lifting up onto the heel of the foot. It's a really deep stretch for that calf. Keep a bend in that right knee as you do this stretch. Good. Exhale, releasing the right foot on down. You're going to turn your hands into center so you can keep your blocks here. It's fine. You're going to turn your feet over to the opposite direction and be here. So even here, we want to see a heel-to-heel alignment or wider. You want to look at the left knee and see that the left knee is bent slightly. The left calf moves into the left shin. The left thigh moves towards the left hamstring. And as you continue to breathe here, press to the right heel. Right hip moves forward. Feel both sides of the chest lengthening here. And as you continue to breathe, just continue to feel that lengthening. Continue to feel that elongation in the body. So press through the left
toes. Feel that light bend in the left knee. Keep drawing the left calf towards the left shin. Keep drawing the left hip away from the left heel. That's it. Allow the chest to lengthen on forward. And breathe here. Good. If you want, you can lift up those toes or that foot, and you can release the head down again. And this is called Parsvakonasana pose, but we have our left toes lifted up off the mat, our left foot lifted off the mat. As you do this, keep a bend in that left knee. So even though you're flexing the foot, even though the toes are lifted, the ball of the foot's lifted, you still want to keep that foot in flexion. And then releasing those toes on down. Bring your hands back to center here. Lift the chest and heart. One more time. Exhale, fold. On this fold, if you want, stack your blocks up and release your head down on your blocks. It doesn't have to be on the highest setting. And if you don't have blocks, then you'll just cross your elbows and release here. You're going to turn your right foot or your left foot in. You're going to turn your right foot in and breathe here. So the head is on a block. Releasing the chest, the heart, the sternum. And then from here, you'll take your hands to the sides and lift the chest up. Good. Now, as you feel ready, lower those knees down onto the mat. Lower those knees down onto the mat. And have a seat on your block. Have a seat on your block. This is called Virabhadrasana. We do this pose sometimes. It's called Virabhadrasana. The feet touch at the back of the mat. The chest lifts up. The crown of the head aligns with the pelvis. And we breathe here. So this is a pose we actually take just as a resting pose. There's nothing in particular other than the fact that you're just sitting, you're in a sitting position, and you're just allowing yourself to rest. You don't take 1 or 2 breaths here, just as an opportunity to rest in the pose. So feel the chest lifting, feel the shoulders drawing back, feel the tops of the shoulders drawing down the back body. Feel both of your side ribs lengthening up towards the armpits here. So nice little opening pose for our body. We're going to take both of our legs and scoot the legs over to the right side. So I think we've done this before. You're going to take a pose called Virabhadrasana, which is B-H-A-R, Virabhadrasana. It's the name of a yogi in India. You're going to take the left leg and bring it underneath the right, so that your left knee is in line with your left hip, your right knee is in line with your right hip. So ideally, that's the pose. Both hips are in line, or both knees are in line with the hips. You're going to take your left hand, place your left hand back behind you now, and then just begin to spin the chest over to the left side. So really nice stretch for the hips. This is called Virabhadrasana. Now notice here that you lean back into your left arm. So can you lift up the left chest? Can you lift up the right chest and twist here? So try to keep weight in that right buttocks. Try not to just let all the weight shift over to the left side of the room. That's what happens here. All the weight shifts to the left, and then we lose the pose. So you really want to feel that weight stays even in the hips. Good, and then you'll take the legs forward and you'll take them to the other side. So you don't have to move too quickly here, because we're on a block, and if you're on a foam block like me, if you move too quickly, then the block will fall. So you want to kind of move at a pace that allows for you to just set up the pose without falling out of the pose. Right knee is in line with the right hip. Left knee is in line with the left hip. Taking your left hand, placing it over to the side. Taking your right hand, placing it behind you now, and twisting. So keep lifting through the chest, the heart, the sternum here, and twist. Continue to bring the chest forward. Once again, guys, the weight is going to be in that right buttocks. Can you shift the weight to the left? Can you shift the weight to the left? That's very helpful here, because as you shift the weight to the left, you're going to be able to open up the chest a little bit more. Really nice simple twist here. Virabhadrasana pose. Okay, come back to center.
So we're going to take a pose, and we've done this before as well. It's called Ardha Matsyendrasana. So what you're going to do is you're just going to take your left leg, you're going to take it over the top of the right leg like this. And then, now there's two ways of taking this pose. There's the open way and there's the closed way. In today's class, we're going to take the open way. So you're going to hold on to the top of your left knee with your left hand. You're going to take your right hand and place it behind your back and lift both sides of the chest. Sometimes we take the closed way. Typically, the closed way is really beneficial for the belly. The open way is more beneficial for the hips. Lift both sides of the chest here. Draw the shoulders back. Lift the heart up. Breathe here. Good, and come back to center. You'll uncross the legs. You'll take the feet, bring them apart again, and then you're going to switch over the other side so we can take the other side of Matsyendrasana. So you'll take your right leg this time over the top of the bent left knee, and then you'll place your right hand on top of that knee. You'll place your left hand behind your back. And then twist here. And breathe. All right, back to center again. Now, if you're sitting on your block, a really nice way to take our next pose is just to sit down on the block and take your hands into the center chest. So the legs are apart. The inner thighs are hugging alongside the triceps here, and you're lifting the chest up. This is called Malasana. We're sitting on a block. You don't have to, but if you want to, you can. You take your left hand into the center chest. You extend your right arm up towards the ceiling. So this is once again another really nice pose for the hips. It's also a nice pose for the chest. Keep lifting to that right hand here. It's like an archer. And then bring that right hand back into center. You're going to take the left hand and extend the left arm out. And then draw that hand back into center. As you exhale, just bring your chin towards the chest. Bring your hands. Let your forehead touch your hands here as you release the head down. A little bit of a meditative pose. When the forehead is coming in contact with any object, it becomes relaxed. So as you place your forehead on the hands, in some respects, this is a meditation pose here. Excellent, guys. Okay. From here, we're going to find our way back onto the floor and back onto our backs. So again, we find our way back onto our backs. Let's hug those knees into the chest to start. And let's begin to open up the hips just a little bit. So take your left knee into the center chest. Take the left foot, cross it over the top of the right thigh crease. Bring your left foot down the right thigh. Begin to flex your left foot here. So you press your left knee away. And draw your right knee into the center chest here. So as you begin to breathe, you're going to take your hands behind the back of the right leg or on top of the knee. There's so many variations here. Or you could use a strap. If you're not able to grab hold of the leg, you could use a strap here. It's another option. As you continue to breathe here. Now see that your right foot is flexed. See that your right foot's parallel to the floor. Parallel with the right tibia and fibia, the right top of the leg. See that your right thigh is moving towards the body as your right hip is moving away. Keep lengthening that left knee, left hip here. And you're going to take the take the hands in, keep the hands where they're at. Release the left foot down to the ground, left knee is bent. Take the right foot this time and place the right foot on top of the left thigh crease. Good, flex that foot. As you feel ready here, begin to take your left leg, glide it on in, and then bring that foot into flexion here. So right foot is in flexion, left foot is in flexion, and continue to breathe here. Keep drawing the hips away from you. Keep allowing the shoulder blades to release, or the outer shoulders to release down to the mat. Shoulder blades move into the center chest here, and breathe. So here, the left foot is in flexion. The left thigh is moving towards you. You press the left hip away. Good, and again, you're going to release that left foot on down. You're going to release the right foot on down. Good, hug your knees in here. Breathe in with your knees hugged in towards the chest. Just start to rock the body right and left a few times. All right, and then just let the feet touch the ground here. Knees are bent. Let both knees drift over to the left side. Let both knees drift over to the left side. Now, with your hands, you can place your left hand on top of your right thigh. With your right hand, you can place your right hand just in line with your shoulder, right arm, maybe even above your head, or you could place the elbow in line with the shoulder. There's a lot of variations here. Just breathe into the right side of the chest. This is called this is called Jardha Parivartanasana. It's actually Ardha variation because the true variation of the pose is the legs fully extended here. I take this variation for two reasons. Number one, because it's a little bit more challenging to take the variation with the legs fully extended here. That's the full pose. Number two, I take it because on the right side, I just don't have any space. So that's the reason why. I just don't want to kick into the wall. So from here, you'll take the knees back to center. You can draw the knees back in or the hips back in and then release the knees over to the other side. And breathe here. Left hip draws away from you. Breathe into the chest. And then from here, bring these feet back to center. Hug the knees into the chest here as you breathe. So be here for a moment. Just begin to play with the feet. Just move the feet around here. Great. And then just move the hips right and left a few times. Massages the hips. Really nice for the body. Really nice for the stretch. As you feel ready, you're going to release the feet down to the earth. You'll take the arms. You'll extend the arms up and over the head. And you'll just begin to press down through the feet as you lift the pelvis up. So try to draw the belly in here. Even though we're, activating those legs, you're still drawing the belly in. This is not an easy pose, okay? So you're pressing down through the feet. You're letting the shins move in towards the calves. The calves are still rebounding towards the shins. Don't think that the calves are not active here. The calves are moving forward towards the shins. Then the thighs are moving towards the hamstrings. But likewise, the hamstrings are also lifting towards the thighs. The tailbone is lengthening towards the heels, or the buttocks is drawing towards the backs of the knees, and the belly is hugging in. Keep that chest lifted if you can. Keep that chest lifted if you can. So the longer we hold this pose, it becomes a little bit more challenging. Keep squeezing the belly here and keep breathing. And as you exhale, lower all the way down. Good. If you have a block within reaching distance, grab your block. Place your block on the lowest setting, horizontally, underneath the low back. From here, you could stay here. So you could just stay here. You don't have to do anything else. If you want, you could draw the left knee to the chest. You could draw the right knee to the chest and begin to extend the legs all the way up towards the ceiling. This is called this is called Vipariti Karani. Vipariti Karani means legs up a wall. So our legs are not up a wall, our legs are on top of a block. And our legs are definitely keeping that same sense of being up a wall. So we take this pose to remind us of that. If you feel like you're rolling down towards your shoulders, meaning that you feel like you're kind of rolling off the block, extend the arms forward. Actually, what you could do, release the feet down for a moment, roll the shoulders under, hold on to the mat here, and one more time, extend your legs up. So that's a great adjustment if you feel like you're getting out of the pose. Like if you feel like your body is kind of sliding off, hold on to the mat. That's a great adjustment that helps us to kind of keep our shoulders rooted down towards the earth. So keep lifting through those legs and breathing here. Now the goal of this pose is really just to relax. When we take our legs up, we're in a way reminding ourselves that it's okay to relax. I like this pose for that reason. I feel like this is one of the best restorative poses that we have. It's a really great pose. It's great to take at any time of the day, preferably in the morning and the afternoon. Evening time, we don't take the legs up the wall as much, but you could still do it. I've done it before. And it oftentimes just resets the body. Remember, the blood in our body, it flows all the way across the body. We got all these veins and arteries, right? Veins are going towards the heart. Arteries are moving away from the heart. Arteries are oxygenated blood. Veins are deoxygenated blood. So it's important to remember that our arteries are pumping blood more so here up towards the legs. So it kind of, in many regards, this pose, it helps to create a better sense of blood flow in the body just by lifting those legs up, supposedly. I mean, definitely based on our anatomy, it's makes sense. So you'll bend the knees here, you'll release the feet down to the mat, and then you'll lift up the pelvis and lower the pelvis all the way down towards the earth. Release the block out to the side. Now take the left leg, cross it over the right leg. You're going to scoot the hips over towards your left side, and you're going to release the legs all the way over to the right side. I love this twisting variation of Jartha Parsvakonasana. It's called Garandasana variation. The legs are in a eagle pose. I'm breathing here. And eventually, let's do the other side. So you'll uncross the legs, you'll scoot the hips over, and then just let the legs drift over to the other side. So we take these twists, these particular Garandasana variations, because this helps to release the hips. That's the reason why we take these variations. It's a good reminder just to release the hips. Good, and eventually uncross the legs. If you want, take your blocks, place them to either side of your legs, and find your way into Supta Baddha pose. So releasing on here. If you want, you can extend your legs fully forward. So taking Shavasana or Supta Baddha, supported bound angle pose. Close your eyes and rest here. And if the legs are in Supta Baddha Konasana, you can extend your legs fully forward for Shavasana. The last few. And begin to take the knees to a bend. Rolling the weight of the body onto your side. And gently pressing your way back up into a seated position. So as we come into a seated position, take the hands to the center chest. Release the chin towards the chest. Namaste, yogis. So thank you guys so much. I hope that you have a wonderful day. Gail and Dan, always a pleasure to practice with you guys. I hope that you have a wonderful evening tonight. Hopefully I'll see you guys soon. Hopefully tomorrow. Everybody else, have a wonderful day. If there's anybody that has any questions, please feel free to let me know. And yes, continue to enjoy your day. So for Shazia, I'm not quite sure, but if there's any questions you have, please feel free to reach out to me. Happy to address them for you. I hope that you guys have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. My name is Jason Gorenstein. This is our Practice Integrative Wellness. Our next class is tomorrow, Thursday, June the 11th, 2020, 3 p.m. to 3:55 p.m. Everybody have a wonderful evening. Gail, have an incredible evening. I hope forward to see you soon. Yes, perfect. And Dan as well. And for anybody else watching, have a very, very, very nice evening or day. Namaste, yogis. Be well, be happy. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you all soon. Bye, guys.